Ladies and gentlemen, speedrun fans alike, welcome back to Break the Record Live, featuring Dark Souls Remastered and our All Bosses category. If you've just joined us, where have you been? Because it's been an absolutely electrifying last 10 minutes here at the event. We have had, I think the story of the day is that we just had the world record broken 2 times within 5 minutes of each other. Oldschool beating the time that Catalyst set yesterday with a 102.28, and Catalyst immediately firing back with a 102.23, which is just insane to see. It's been fantastic scenes here. These guys are vying for a $5,000 prize pool, and they're giving it everything they've got to put as much as they can into it and get the most out of it. So thank you very much to our sponsor, Kaspersky, for making that happen. And these runners are definitely making everyone else work for it. The leaderboard stands as thus, as I just said, that first place being taken back from Catalyst after Oldschool snuck in there and had one of the runs of his life. Oldschool immediately back onto another run. Catalyst has taken a moment, but we're joining Dan Flesh, who is about 27 minutes into the run and looking to kind of beat his own PB and maybe get down to that 102 mark. I'm joined. Sorry, go ahead.
I wonder if Cat is going to keep going.
Yeah, but it's definitely a question to ask. I mean, maybe it's like because he knows that Oldschool's going again. Yeah. Is he safe? Yeah. A good point to ask. I should mention as well that I am joined by 2 of our community casters, Red and Regol. These guys have been with me for that moment. How are you guys feeling after that insane display from these 2 runners?
I have stoked.
I have the highest amount of adrenaline pumping through my blood this year. I didn't even do anything. Just sitting and witnessing that.
That was legendary. That moment right there. That was incredible.
A scene that we haven't seen before on Break the Record Live. I'll say we've seen world records at every single event, and that's a beautiful thing to be able to say that we have achieved that. But these guys have brought it out, like we've never seen before, and to have 2 different runners get the world record at a Break the Record Live event, that is impressive.
And like not even just like they 2 guys getting it like during the event, right back to back from each other on the same run during the other person's run.
Yeah,
they were both doing it. Like that was crazy. That was insane.
Yeah. Oldschool officially got Croacked, as I mentioned earlier today as well. World record. Second place.
Too bad we don't have a remaster record timeline for the Speedsouls website. I don't know if Oldschool that run's gonna get documented for him.
Yeah, and Keta is afraid of Oldschool starting a new run as well.
Yeah. Okay, let's go.
The grind is on still.
I can't believe Red calling out Kata, saying a run started in fear of his opponent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, maybe not fear, but more like respect.
Yeah, it's definitely respect.
Yeah, so we got Kata and Oldschool fighting it back for the record spot. But we also have Nax and Dan fighting over for that 3rd place spot. Dan trying to, solidify his position there, and Nax just trying to get down under 104. Definitely capable of doing it, but he's currently been resetting a bit today.
Yeah, Nax also earlier mentioning that he wanted to return faster or sooner, but then he saw this battle of Oldschool and Keta and just wanted to watch it until the end before he starts his down attempts again.
Yeah.
Wow. It's hard to really continue to cast after this, but we'll give our best.
Yeah, it's gonna be nice to get my break so I can calm down.
Yeah, we just took our break, and Regol was saying, 9 minutes left. I'll just get through that.
That was amazing. That was awesome.
It's kind of it's one of those things you kind of like really hope to be able to do. Like, I mean, the last couple of Break the Record lives, I've been kind of like, we had like multiple hosts. I've been sitting by whilst kind of like other hosts have been able to be there for all the record. And I managed to get 2 in 5 minutes. So like, exactly. I take back every kind of like,
I was having that same feeling yesterday because Kata broke the record like right after I went off my shift, and I was like, dang, I'd been there for that. but can't complain now.
Yeah. Man, a really good Sif fight coming out from Danflesh there, saving about 8.5 seconds. So, Danflesh has been having an interesting event. Managed to get like a really early, this time he got really quite early into the event and solid.
He had
time
a really
to begin
good
with.
day one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A frustrating day 2, and he's been having this like really back and forth day 3, and I think as we hit the finale here, what can he do? Finishing a run though earlier, I believe he did finish a run at last. I think he had a few runs die, so to actually finish one is kind of like a big boost. I feel.
Yeah, it could definitely boost your confidence. Just to even if you don't PB, just get a run close to PB speed. Just finishing it definitely can help you feel better.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't quite catch how Gentoffer lost his run because he was on a really good pace as well, like -50, I believe.
Yeah,
Sad to see that he's back in the early game here.
Everybody else in the early game except for Dan and Iron Boy currently on some runs. Iron Boy approaching ONS.
Yeah, we should keep an eye on that. Did lose a bit of time, it seemed, to Iron Golem though.
Probably the Logan wall break, if I was gonna take a guess.
Yeah. Because he doesn't do the roll into like quit out stand up, does he?
Does he not?
The lizard. I've been seeing him do the lizard at least.
Okay. I feel like you should at least go for it. Maybe you don't get it because it is a pretty finicky setup. But I feel like you should at least go for it.
Yeah. Well, we've got a Hydra start coming up for Dan. Gets his plunge. Oh no, sorry, not Hydra. He's going for the DLC. Sorry, I had a moment there. Just never mind me.
Yeah, it's always been kind of an annoying part of runs like this where you have to go through the Hydra Lake twice.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel great. There's nothing else you can do.
That's one of the things where you're thinking like, there has to be a better way, but just haven't been found yet, and I don't think we can.
Yeah.
We would have to find a way to get a broken pendant in a different way than letting it drop from the golem, but it's unlikely to happen. But who knows?
Yeah.
At some point.
There was like potential for ESM for broken or for the purple coward's crystal.
Yeah.
That obviously.
Guardian.
And of course, there's no ESM in the remaster, anyways.
You do, I think, don't you? Just not easily.
What, ESM? I don't think it works in the remaster at all.
I'm not sure. I mean, you can't cram yourself easily because you don't have quantity.
Yeah, but
if you do cram,
when you remove your ring, it doesn't do the dialogue.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure about this already. Then never mind me.
Seemed like a pretty good Guardian. A little bit of time loss, but the fight seemed to go okay from what I saw. But yeah, losing a little bit of time there overall. Coming up to the Artorias fight as we're coming up to the top of the hour, so I believe it's time to say goodbye to Regol for now. I think that's your last shift for the evening of the event.
I'll be back in a couple hours at the very, very end. We'll see how long I am here at the end because it's going to be like the last few runs that people are doing. But basically. Scheduled. But yeah, thanks guys.
No worries. Thank you. We'll see you for the finale. Have a great rest or break, and we'll see you soon.
Thank you.
And we have dragged over to the event Kermit. Kermit will be joining us. Good evening. How are you doing, sir?
Not bad.
Good. How are you feeling after witnessing what you just witnessed?
I did not. I was actually caught up. I was busy talking to friends, and I missed it.
Well, fair enough. Yeah,
Just opened up the stream.
If it helps, mate, the entire world does not revolve around Dark Souls, so it's okay to enjoy your.
See Kappa though. I can't. Oh, wow! I've just okay. What order did this happen?
Olsku went first. He was running for like a really, really good time. Then he didn't get the RTSR set up for Gwyn, and saved only a little bit of time, not the full amount. So lost like about what felt like 4 seconds on the end. and then beat Kata's time by 2 seconds, and then Kata was 5 minutes behind him. And so Kata finished off that run, got a Firestorm again, clutched it out against the Bed of Chaos, still saved time, and then got the RTSR set up, which allowed him 5 seconds time save for the final section. It was
very high. Oh yeah, big last day. That's exactly what you want to see in the last day.
Yeah. It's, some very intense energy,
all the action, all the excitement.
But yeah, now we kind of like have to let the dust settle as the grind continues. You know, obviously it would be lovely to have a chat with Olsku and Kata after that kind of very impactful moment. However, you know, they've only got 2 hours left now. 2 hours until we ring that final bell, and it's very important that they focus on this run and get as many more attempts out as possible. The run's an hour long, and they've got 2 hours left, so.
Seeing, unfortunately, Gentov still hasn't actually managed to post a new time, as he does actually die to the gargoyles.
Yeah, it's been really unfortunate for him.
Yeah.
He definitely has the potential. He's shown that the entire time. I think it's just kind of like a case of consistency, or maybe just safety here and there, just making those odd mistakes every now and then that is costing him runs.
Yeah. One should keep in mind that Gentov ran any percent for like 8 months or so exclusively before this event. So probably he's a good runner. He was, I think, third in any percent at the time. But just not used to all bosses. Bit of consistency issues probably, but does have the potential definitely to become a very good runner in this category as well.
And whilst there's like game experience there is going to be that just that little bit of different. Oh, and there's a reset from Dan. He just knew. Seemed like the fight was going okay, but maybe he missed a shot, increasing the turns there. Okay, so everyone's being like currently resetting right now, which means that Nax is currently the furthest through. Currently looking to pick up his red tier stone ring, a cornerstone of this route and this build, by increasing the damage by 50%. After when your HP is below 20%, and that's before resistances, so it's kind of like it actually works out to be even more when all of the calculations are done. It's quite the increase. So yeah, this pickup's very early, and it's very integral.
Just big damage. It'll carry you through the rest of the entire game.
So yeah, there was a dupe done at this point, and it's not actually, I don't believe it's to level up immediately, but it's to buy the spells that we're going to start buying that go and kind of grab the first few spells, and they'll kind of like do another dupe first, and then kind of prepare themselves.
Yeah, we'll get a couple rings, get Great Heavy Soul Arrow and Heavy Soul Arrow, just so you can get some spells for ONS, then free Logan on the way there, and you get the good spells from Logan. Get the Soul Spear and the Homing Soul Mass.
We see the optimal shrinking of
Olsku's frozen.
Maybe he might just take a little break.
I'm not sure if he's just. Yeah, I can't tell if he's just sitting perfectly still, or if the stream's frozen.
So,
yeah, he will see next buy the spells and rings and catalyst he needs for the run, not completing, but setting a good base was the mage build they will use for the whole run. And we will see another dupe here on elevator, or this time 4 levels. The way this works, so Remastered introduced using multiple of one item, which wasn't in the original. And with the brightness menu there, you can overlay 2 menus over each other and get into this quantity use menu even with a single soul. And after a loading screen, the default value will be 0. Just click down once to get to 99, and you can use 1 soul 99 times. And later on, we will actually use the quantity of 999 arrows to use a 8k soul, I believe, 999 times to get all the souls the runners will need for levels for the rest of the run, very early on. And you will sadly see sense gate skips failing.
And just pushed through the wall from the parry. That happened to me a lot of times when I was first learning that skip. I never actually, I don't know how, I just never realised how just integral the column is. It's like, for anyone that doesn't know, it's like you when you're in the parry animation, you step back a little bit. If you're only at the wall with no column, you just get pushed through and you die. If you get pushed into the column will push you back in, but the game will give you the death cam that you need basically to make sure that Sense Gate stays unloaded. So it's it can be kind of tricky if you're just learning it, making sure you're definitely lined up to get pushed into that column.
Yeah. And we've got another run starting off by Nax. In case anyone's kind of like new to the run, the Thief class is to have a master key kind of like held by your class. If you don't choose Thief, you can pick it as a gift, but by going Thief class, you get that key, but you can also then choose the Black Fire Bombs as a gift instead. You get 10, and all 10 are used throughout the run at multiple points to kind of, deal enough damage to bosses. It's used specifically in terms of bosses. It's right now for the Asylum Demon to begin with. The first 5 are used here, and then there'll be 2 used later on for the Bed of Chaos at the very end of the run. 1 potentially on gargoyles, depending on some people don't do it right now, but yeah, 1 used on gargoyles, and then 2 for the trader kill in Undeadburg as well.
And then the Bed of Chaos right at the end of the run.
So yeah, it's kind of nice that setup works like that. Asylum Demon goes down. So I found this out earlier. I was having a chat with Duck, and he was saying that so one of those things that you want to try and get behind the fog gate behind Asylum Demon quick enough, because if you don't, then you won't actually have the bonfire that you kind of go back to after doing this particular skip here. You'll kind of go back to the beginning of the asylum into the cell. Yeah, which is
yeah, one of the most frequent questions asked by beginner runners in our Discord as well. Why that happens? Because it is easy to miss, or to also understand yourself why that happens.
Yeah.
Oh. Actually, seeing an asylum runs are fairly rare in this event, but right now we actually don't have any run too far in.
Yeah, we're getting a rare treat here, getting to see the beginning of the game.
Hell yeah.
Let's go.
Can Dan make it across the Hellkite Bridge?
Oh yeah, we'll keep our eye on that.
Oh yeah, one of the... Yeah. Oh, he gets through easily. There's one of the reset points as well in the early game, because depending on attack, the Hellkite Drake gives you there. You might just die and have to reset, and there's not really anything you can do about it.
Yeah, the Berg itself as well, this beginning pit, is a particularly tricky thing I've kind of been realizing over the course of these 3 days, is just how much can kind of trip our runners up. There's a lot to do as well. There's a lot of setup to kind of get through the next couple of bosses, because it's Taurus and Gargoyles are kind of like set up for with all the stuff that's going on right now.
Yeah, until we see Max do the snipe on the merchant bar we mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
And then we do jump down to Laura and Burke after Kurat here.
I don't know how often it's been mentioned. The reason the snipe is done is mainly just to get the residence key, so we can actually free Griggs in the Lower Undeadburg, so we can get the spells and rings and catalyst from them.
Yeah. This door here.
The PewDiePie skip coming out.
Yeah.
Not named after PewDiePie because he found it, but just because it kind of randomly happened on his casual playthrough. There you go. Wait,
PewDiePie doesn't have world record?
Fairly not. But yeah, the only thing the skip really does, like we call it skip, it's basically a dialogue skip. Dialogue in this game, for some reason, is like the holy grail of everything. You can't really do anything while dialogue's playing. So what the PewDiePie skip is in this instance is getting dialogue to open the door before triggering the actual dialogue of Griggs talking to you. So you can open the door while he's talking to you. Because otherwise you will have to click through the dialogue messages before you can open the door. That's just a small time save. But nice to have.
Yeah, and this gold pine resin picked up here by Nax is going to be integral for the first 2 bosses. Oh, the second and third boss, rather. It applies 150 electric damage to the right-hand weapon. And the Taurus Demon and Gargoyles will basically get shaved down quite quickly because of that. Super helpful damage buff, basically. It's one of the few times where physical attacks are actually the main source of damage for the boss. You'll just see the quick work being made here.
the effectiveness of the resins kind of wears off in like the later game anyway. So it's good that you get them so early, and like they are just of huge like most benefit at this point in the game, really.
Yeah.
You just use them basically just 2 bosses in a row, and then they're gone.
Looking to the side as well as we're watching the Hellkite bridge be attempted now by Nax. We got Dan in the Valley of the Drakes looking for his red Tearstone ring. Iron Boy as well, just a little bit further ahead. But can Nax make it past? No. Sorry.
That's just a roll of dice here.
Simple answer there, yeah. There's not much you can do about that. So, with that done, we should probably let Nax get into his reset. We haven't seen Iron Boy for a bit, so we can go over to Iron Boy, or we can stick with Dan Flesh. What do you guys reckon? Your choice.
Either or. I'm easy.
Either or. Okay.
Oh, let's go with Iron Boy. Haven't
Iron
seen
Boy.
him wide on the big
Okay.
screen.
Nice. We haven't seen him for a bit. Seen that smile. Give us a smile there, Iron Boy. He's been a very positive. Yeah, just generally quite positive. And I think the thing is he's had some really nice progress. The actual kind of like he's just been making progress, like improving across the board. Upping and changing the route that he takes as he goes. Because of all that, as he's going to go and attempt his dupe here, nice and easy. 80, a lot of souls, more than 80k. Yeah. 118. That's a lot, basically.
Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
Could be around 118. Actually,
It's 280 something.
In total, yeah.
I think
I can't remember what value this
alright,
was. Is
it
it
used a
3k?
2k soul, so I guess it's a 2k times 99.
Okay.
Chat, do your math.
Yeah, so that'll be
180.
218,000. Yeah. So we're gonna go for our first death. Our Colin Firth. Death cam skip by reaching enough to kind of activate the death cam, but not actually hitting the kill plane. Allows basically, I think it's kind of like deloads one of the gates, so we can just run through into the bonfire and then kind of quit out and load. Essentially, what this does, there are 2 bells you'd normally need to ring to open the gate to get into Sen's Fortress. So, skips a fairly nice chunk of like, I wouldn't say side quest, but just extra movement essentially.
Yeah, it's like climbing all the way up the ladders to the first bell that the Gargoyles did there, and then you don't even need to go down to Quelaag. Quelaag's like one of the last bosses in the route, really. Or at least just towards the end, and that's where the other bell is. So with this skip, you save just a whole bunch of time. Quelaag, especially early game, has like just so much. Don't know if it's so much health or just like armor, but she's a really like tanky boss for early game.
Yeah, I think she's. Nah, I'm thinking about someone else. I think Manus has got the most HP of every boss. But Quelaag's tanky is what I've always told, because like she survives, like 1 dark bead, which is pretty nuts.
For an early game boss, it's actually nuts.
Yeah.
The Gaping might be even tankier, also supposed to be an early game boss, but those two definitely take the cake. Oh, and we see Iron Boy making his way through his way. I know why I said it. Making his way through Sen's Fortress here, which is for runner a fairly comfortable area. And as mentioned earlier, doesn't go for the jump stretch.
That didn't, and then he goes for the quit out. It looks like it seemed like it was the horizontal swipes, the double horizontal, but it seemed like to not get it, which is a bit of a shame. Just resetting it to see what happens on the first. Okay. There's the overhead. There's a wide.
I think the follow-up attack would break the wall there, but it just doesn't get it.
Yeah.
There it is.
There we go.
Finally.
Yeah. Unfortunate bit of time loss there. So here's Logan, and so we've rescued him. Not going to be able to get spells from him immediately. We'll be doing there'll be some bosses we need to do a little bit later that they're going to do a little bit later to move Logan from Sen's Fortress to Firelink Shrine, which will
And
then
at this
allow
point, unless he were to bone out, there's no way of actually leaving Sense Fortress. The gate is still locked.
Yeah.
So he definitely just can't go and get the spells without having to redo all of this. Oh, getting hit by the boulder.
Slight menuing mishap there.
Ah.
I laughed it up.
Isn't a nice quit to kind of like get back into it, but still, it's a weird one there. I think it's kind of interesting because it's one of those things that maybe hasn't been talked about as much, but yeah, it's like when you kind of sequence break things, like has happened here. It's like being able to kind of cover your tracks and being able to still confirm and activate things that need to be activated. Because some games, when you kind of like sequence break them, you can break the sequence that you do things to make them technically faster, but you sometimes still have to do all the things. So the fact that you don't actually kind of like need to get rid of the gate at all, you can do it another way. It's like a nice fail-safe for things like this. Because like glitching games to kind of like break the way that you do them is that how many flags does like a game need to have met in order to continue. I think routing around those things is always a fascinating thing, because like one thing we talk about when it comes to speedrunning is we talk about the runners, and we talk about the run and the PBs and the world records. We tend not to kind of focus as much, which is a bit of a shame. Tend not to focus as much on the people who actually root these games out and spend their time, finding ways to break it and then finding ways to make it viable after you have broken it as well. A hugely important technique and approach. Like I think it's a different way of looking at games, like routing versus speedrunning. And shout outs to every router and glitch hunter out there. You guys are genuinely the MVPs.
I find it interesting that even though there's a minute, between them in time, that Dan has actually caught up and overtaken Iron Boy here, and Dan's actually already
actually entered Anno Londo. I think the biggest thing was the snake wall skip didn't happen for Iron Boy. Had to do a reset and still had a bit of a crappy bit of RNG from the snake, not really doing the right move to break down the wall.
Yeah, small Russian race here going on.
The Russian race. You could say that they're both Russian to the end of the game.
No. I don't think you could.
Fair enough. Okay.
No pun. I don't know about puns.
No, I mean, you might have a point.
You can't say it, but not with good conscience, really.
The equivalent of a swear jar.
Pun jar.
Oh well.
I'd hate that. I'm very prone to an awful pun. I hate them, but I'll still say them.
The thing is, like, the more people grimace at them, the more people grimace, the more successful the pun is. Like, that's the point, right? Ah, dear. You can hate me. It'll only make me stronger.
Wow. Oh.
Both of them get some trouble with the Dan with a lot of extra trouble on the Guardians. So he had to parry the first, and then
so we have a winner in that race then.
Lord Steady wins the race in this case.
Yeah. We'll see how that goes towards ONS, and then if there's anything else happening. Interesting to note, because Kata had that really, really good end game to kind of finish off his run, he did have a bit of a tricky early game. So currently, the pace is good again for Kata. Currently, I think 8.2, 9.2 seconds ahead. As he just kind of does the death cam clip or skip to get into the beginning of Sen's Fortress now. So, looking pretty good from him as Olsku taking down the Bell Gargoyles. And again, is also ahead. So the two, it's kind of harsh to not call Olsku Rail World record holder because he's not, but like the two record holders, all right, I'm going to call it that because they both did amazingly. Our two record holders.
That's fair, I think.
Yeah.
Kata only losing 6 seconds on the sum of best so far. That's actually really, really good early game for him.
I'm having a quick look through Katha's splits just to see where he has like any bigger sort of time saves. He's got like 14 seconds, I think, on Calamite.
Can we just also note that the things are kind of reversed? Earlier, Oldschool was 5 minutes ahead in terms of actual runtime. So it's like one finish and then the other. And the opposite has kind of happened here, where we have Catalyst is 4 minutes ahead of Oldschool. They're both green right now. So
yeah, let's go for round 2 here.
It's 1-1. Whoever wins next gets it. Oh no. Can our hearts take that?
I don't think my heart can take it, but my shift will be over until they're there, so...
So I don't have to deal with it. I'm gone. Yeah. We'll watch this ONS fight.
Yeah, that's ONS.
I think after that will be a perfect time for you-know-what. Okay.
Iron Boy getting a little bit trolled there.
Right, so hopefully we will see a great heavy soul arrow into soul arrow stagger on Ornstein into a soul arrow kill. Didn't get a best opening.
Yeah, I guess jog.
And
To lightning.
The heavy. Oh, at least he got the damage in here.
Yeah, he's just going for the great soul arrows rather than heavy, just because it's faster. Respectable. Missed
the
a shot.
cast time of the great heavy is already hard to get in the first phase after the initial cast at the start.
Especially without the dexterity being as high as it can be to cap out that spell speed.
Maybe didn't get the ideal start, but it's been a pretty good fight.
Yeah. It's by the door. Ornstein didn't dodge any shots with the hammer, so yeah, looking good. And he does split early. I think he splits. I think he splits on door. So
yeah, he does. So actually going into the green here.
Very nice, excellent. Well, looking good for Iron Boy as he hits the hits the ONS split. We've still got some green looking splits currently with Catalyst and Oldsku, who are both minutes apart. With that, we will take our next break of the day. We're coming up to the end of the event, which is very, very exciting. We'll be gone for 3 minutes, and when we come back, we will catch the rest of the action here at Break the Record Live, featuring Dark Souls Remastered. A note as well that ESA Marathon, as well as doing events like these, do have their own charity marathon as well that is going to be taking place. So they have two during the year, the main ones being winter and summer. We do have submissions have opened today for ESA Winter 2021. I believe the command will be popped in chat, and you can, if you're interested in submitting a speedrun to the event, submissions have opened today, and I believe they're open for 2 weeks. Whilst Break the Record Live is coming to an end, ESA Marathon's events with speedrunning and with the whole speedrunning community won't be ending here. There'll be more and more to come in the future. So we'll take a quick 3-minute break, and we'll be right back to see what our remaining runners can do at the end of Break the Record Live. Don't go anywhere.